Hello, my friends. Welcome to another live stream of the weekly free instant tournament. Now this live stream is getting some predictable periodicity. So it's on Mondays. The weekly free instant tournament is updated every Friday. So I suggest that you should play it during the weekend and then watch the live stream if you want to compare your thoughts to mine. And you can find the weekly free instant live stream under the solitaire tab. And here we go. And we have here a 14 high card point, 6-4 hand. We have to begin with one club. And we're about to get excited if we find a hard fit, but apparently not. And this auction from partner is invitational. He had a convenient beat to show extras. Of course, even if we were not a passed hand, being a passed hand, he can't have a game forcing hand. But let's pretend that he was not a passed hand. Then one spade, the fourth suit, would be the way for him to show extras and to force the game with many kinds of hand. So here he's just inviting with a good diamond suit. We have enough high cards to accept an invitation, but the hand is really fitting badly. We have no diamond honor. Our stoppers are very, we have two spade stoppers, but we can't duck them. And so it's easy to see the opponent establishing spades. And so this is a clear pass. Even though we have 14 high card points and partner is in the 10 to 11 range, so we have 24 or 25. This is the number that we usually go to game. For us to make a game here, we need a fitting club honor, which is unlikely because his hand is concentrated in diamonds, and some luck. So if he had a club honor, we would have 8 tricks, like 5 clubs, ace, king, and ace. But maybe the opponents would be able to establish 5 before we had our 9. And he may have a singleton club honor, which would be awkward as well. So especially in match points, in which it's important to get the decision that is most frequently right, not the one that gives the maximum payoff, is a clear pass. And partner has that club honor that we were hoping for in 3-no trumps, but still we'll be able, unless there's something like a king 10 doubles on a club, something like that. Typically we will lose a club. So we will score 5 clubs, ace, king, and ace, 8 tricks, and then they will have spades ready to run. They took our first stopper here now. And if we were playing in 3-no trumps, we would finesse in clubs, lose a club most likely. They would drive out the spade stopper and we wouldn't have, oh, we had the king of hearts, I didn't notice that. So we would have 5 clubs, ace, king, and ace, king. Yeah, so maybe 3-no trumps was better. Erase all of that I was saying. 3-no trumps, and partner has very weak diamonds, considering his jump. He could have had, instead of king of hearts, a queen of diamonds. That would be a more typical 3-diamond bid. He should, I think, by the way, if you were a more careful bidder, should have bid 1 spade, taking advantage of him being a passed hand. And he would learn a little bit more about our hand. But it's still a tough game to reach. So if over 1 spade would be 2 clubs, it bid 2 diamonds, and now we bid 3 clubs. And he would have to bid 3-no trumps over that. He would have more information. He would know about our 6-card suit. Anyway, we are in 3 diamonds. And our first order of business is to draw trumps as quickly as possible. And there's no clear indication of a jack or king, I believe. Now we can finessing clubs. Maybe. I'm not too concerned with losing a club rough, because the club rough most often comes from a hand long in diamonds. Let's see if diamonds are breaking reasonably well. You don't know yet. Clubs are high, so let's draw as many diamonds as we can. Now we have a discard for our heart, and we can claim. 3 no trumps would have been better, but we got 46%. In imps, as I mentioned in passing, well, we have almost the same hand partner had. 12 high card points and a long diamond suit. But in imps, I would probably have bid 3 no trumps with that hand, because I can't bear the thought of missing a game, even not vulnerable, with 25 high card points. And the loss of going down in game when you could make 3 diamonds is not that big as it is in match points. Anyway, here we have a 1 diamond opening bid. Partner offered an inverted raise. For those, most of you are familiar with this, maybe some errand, and you can always, when you see the red border on a bid, you can click on it and you get an explanation in robot speak. It's often hard to parse out, but here this is a very early bidding action that is quite well codified. It doesn't have any majors, either for hearts or for spades. He has at least an invitational hand with diamonds. 3 spades from a past hand is a weird hand, but the robot does that once in a while. He has a flaw. He didn't start with 3 spades, which would have made our life much harder. Imagine, what would you bid over 3 spades? 4 diamonds is really risking your neck, vulnerable versus not, with only 12 and a not excellent 6 card suit. Now we're in a much better position. He should have opened 3 spades. That's the conclusion, but he didn't. Lucky us. And what should we be doing here? I think this is something that you should discuss with your partner, by the way. Assuming this is a strange auction that passed, that the fact that East is a pass hand and he's jumping to 3 spades. But let's take that aspect to one side. Let's pretend that East is not a pass hand. The first thing that you and your partner should think about is, when you're dealing with this auction, is South forced to bid North-South? Is this auction forcing? And to me, the answer is a clear no. And the reason is that the 2 diamond bid from North committed us to 3 diamonds only. So if South had a minimum with a balanced hand, or a minimum with 4 or 5 diamonds, we could still stop into no trumps or in 3 diamonds, and the 3 spade bid didn't change a lot about that. So there are some hands, balanced hands, with which you would like to pass, and North may have only an invitation with diamonds, you would pass also. So there's no risk of this pass being construed as forcing. That said, I don't think we should pass, because we have an excellent diamond bid. Partner has at least 4. We have 10 diamonds. And if we bid 4 diamonds, we confirm that we have extra diamonds, not extra strength, but extra diamonds. This shouldn't be forcing, although I am a big proponent of 4 of a minor bids being forcing. Maybe it should be forcing once in a very established partnership, because we would like to have one way to force and to institute a slam inquiry cheaply, without having to bid something that might be misconstrued, such as 4 clubs or 4 hearts. Maybe it should be forcing. And in that case, if it were forcing, I would just bid 5 diamonds with this hand. But this is an imp thinking, right? This is, let me just turn down this Roomba that is cleaning the house. This is imp thinking. And this, we are in match points. And so I think 4 diamonds will be not forcing, no, it's forcing for him. I can't. I have to pass, but for the robot to pass here would be so mathematically bad. But he doesn't know a lot about our hand. I think we're about to go to 5 diamonds anyway, but if I will risk the pass to begin with. Yeah, we'll defend 3 spades. And I'll lead, should lead 4th best here. No reason for us to risk any other suit. Club discard, that's peculiar. Peculiar. Now the Clara has found excellent support in dummy. And it's very likely that we would depend on the club guess, depending on who has a 10 of clubs, for 5 diamonds. We are losing 2 spades for sure. Partner should have the ace of hearts. No, okay, that's good. That means that 5 diamonds doesn't make. Now, the Clara has, let's count his hand. He has 6 spades only. And now we know, wow, can he have 5 hearts? Looks like it. 6 spades and 5 hearts. Why is partner throwing away his honor? No, it's clearly 6 spades and 5 hearts. And so that was a very peculiar bidding sequence from our friend. Robot passed and then did 3 spades, and he missed an obvious game. He loses the 2 clubs that he has 6, 5, 0, 2. We'll cash a club. Note that partner has to have, he has ace and queen of diamonds and queen of hearts, 8. He has to have a king of clubs. So we could even play a low club here. But we can also just play a diamond. There's no rush. He'll rough. We can play low here. Partner will score the king, and that's it. We can concede. Ridiculous bidding from our robot friends. I'm curious to see how people did deal with that. It's funny to see they're both in the same. Well, passed out looks more like a like a misclick than any other thing, but it's quite curious that 5 diamonds is scoring better than 3 spades when we're vulnerable. So if they were doubled in 5 diamonds, this would be a disaster. And you have to guess clubs, as I suspected, to go down only 1. It's quite guessable. But anyway, I wouldn't expect the opponents to be missing such an easy game here. Okay, next case, 18 high card points. We start with the 1 diamond bid. By the way, we start with a diamond rather than a club, because in some variants, we would like to bid clubs later. Imagine some kind of hard preempt, partner doubling, showing spades. We like to have a rebid, a good rebid. So now we have a big heart raise, maybe 3 spades is in order here. I think it is. Barely, it's an overbid of sorts, but I like to show. We have some good slam potential here if partner has like 10 and 5 hearts. Nope. We are stopped in the obvious. What is that double from east? Can it be that he has a king of spades from west? And this guy has 10 empty? I don't know. But we do know that we have to go with diamonds soon. If we count our tricks, we have hopefully 4 hard tricks, 2 clubs 6, 1 spade 7, 1 spade rough 8. We need 2 diamonds or a diamond and a club. Both are feasible, but we have to be concerned about hearts for 1. So maybe we shouldn't be playing a lot of trumps You can play one. Then I prefer to play my first diamond before we find out. And looking at the diamond combination, we should be playing the jack because sometimes this queen is on side. And playing the king would lose that. But thinking of the bidding, East has apparently only maybe the king of spades. I don't understand that double from West. Maybe the king of spades and the queen of clubs. So he should have the ace of diamonds for sure. Maybe he doesn't have the queen of diamonds. He would be tempted to climb with if he had the ace queen of diamonds. That's a quirk of robot thinking, because he would never suspect that we would play the king. He would assume that if he plays low, we would play the jack. He sees nothing to gain when he has ace queen, but he sees something to gain. He has the ace. I'm talking myself into playing king of diamond and the diamond. That will prevent a diamond ruff if East has 4 diamonds. If I play the jack and I lose to the queen, it becomes ace of diamond and a diamond. And East has something like 5-2, 4-2. We lost a ruff that we might not have lost. So I'll play the king and lose to the ace. Okay, clubs are 5-4-1. That was a very uninspired way to play the hand. But then hearts were 4-1 too, apparently. So we will discard a club on a diamond to go down only 1. Okay, and now we can draw trumps and claim. So maybe we just exchange tricks, right? It wouldn't, even if we play the jack of diamonds, we would still lose 2 clubs, 1 diamond. And we had the 4th diamond, or I don't know. Of course, it's best to play the jack when he has the king, when he has the ace. But we got a 78% hand. If you start by drawing trumps, you lose control. I think it's fairly easy for us to go down more here. You see those guys. Let's look at a simple play here. Heart lead. It's peculiar. Diamond to the jack ducked. Club to hand. 10 of diamonds, bad play. Now the spade shorten, dummy. And the player still has 2 clubs to lose. Yeah. He couldn't, in effect, he couldn't discard anything on the diamond. Okay, let's move on. It's board 4, 12 high card points. Here, 1 club opening bid. I don't like, by the way, open with 4 card majors, even in 3rd and 4th position. Some people do. But as showing the majors here, we should just raise. Wow. Well, we have a nice hand for him. Doubleton spades, 3 little diamonds. And he has some very aggressive, especially considering his trumps. Well, 4 of spades. Can be a singleton? Well, it could. But for it to be a singleton, East is withholding a suit headed by king, queen, 5th. If it's a singleton, there's nothing we can do. We should duck heart here. Our plan is to establish spades. And here comes the ruff. No ruff. Okay, not bad. And this means maybe he has king, queen of hearts. We can ruff a few diamonds in dummy. If hearts are 4-1, we are dead. Yeah, they are. But still, we are only about to lose 2 more trumps. Right? We have another diamond. Cash the ace of spades, discard our club, and lose 2 more trumps, going down 1. We would always lose a spade and 3 hearts. That's the extent of our losses. 60%. We're not much in control so far of this tournament. Especially in the bidding, we are doing as many tricks as we could, except for that misguessing diamonds. Anyway, this is board 5. I'd like to add a word from our sponsors. Let me type it in here. Learn from the best. That's the campaign that I'm about to unleash in the ACBL bulletin. But if you follow this address here, Learn from the Best, you'll know more about it. It's the course that I've offered for the past year. It has been very well received by all students. And in that course, we still keep my screen there. Go away, black bar. In that course, while the black bar doesn't move, in the course I teach people not only how to think in bridge, but also tips for evaluation, competitive bidding, all sorts of stuff that you can't really find from a book or even from regular bridge instruction. And so it's also great fun to teach. So look at there, Learn from the Best. You've seen the address there. Let me see if I can find a way to get this. No, I want to. Okay, let's move on. The big Excel table open in the background, but this guy here is not really helping this black bar. Okay, let's move on. We have 18 high card points and a 1 diamond opening bid. Partner is showing spades. We have a nice hand, but it's not really amazing. The singleton king of hearts, and if you look at the whole collection of honors out of spades, probably one of them at least is not pulling its full weight. Let's just jump to game. Of course, we have to beat game. Our trumps are not that bad, right? They are not 6, 5, 3, 2 as in the other case. So here we have plenty of tricks out of trumps. That's an interesting setup, because it looks like this guy is short in clubs. Hearts should be divided. And if he's short in clubs, maybe he's long in spades. And if he's long in spades, maybe I shouldn't start with the jack of spades. I should start with a low spade and capture some short card here, the queen, something like that. Maybe that is the case. Playing the jack here would be very good if West had a doubleton queen. But that is the natural way of playing this suit. But I can see why is this guy leading the 9 of clubs when they have some. He probably has an ace of hearts. To not lead a heart. So the ace of spades is probably with West. Another argument for leading low. I talked myself into it. Let's leave low. Typically, I'll find him with queen 9. Okay. And still withdraw trumps. Queen 9. And the rough, no. So he had queen nine third. We can claim. Queen nine third is a weird thing to play, but we couldn't avoid. Even if you start with the jack, you'd not play the nine. So he would. He was afraid of us playing low to the seven, maybe. That's the kind of robot thinking that he does. 64% another. Nothing deal. Okay, 16 high card points. One club opening bid. Partner shows some values in something in diamonds. We have 16. You see 8 to 11. I would call it 8 to 10. 8 to 11 is 11 is a bit too much. But this is a misfitting hand. I think I'll go low once again. It's a misfitting hand. And we don't have good intermediates in the majors. Maybe one of them is a weak spot for us. I'll go low. With 16 and 8 to 10, 24 to 25, 26. It's painful to not explore game when you're in that range. Quite painful, but I think the risk that this is a misfit and partners' diamond values will not be pulling full weight as trick building values. They will be only stoppers. And maybe it doesn't stop. Maybe West bids 2 diamonds and we can double him. Partner had 10. And unless they can cash 5 tricks very quickly, we stop too low. And I don't think it's likely that they will be able to cash 10 tricks very quickly. We have 9 tricks, right? 4 spades, 3 hearts, and 2 diamonds. We should just claim them. We make 8 more tricks and a bad score for sure. Yeah. But partner could have had the queen of diamonds instead of king, something like that. That's all we need for it to be a bad contract. Another instance in which going low didn't work out well. Okay, 17 high card points. No good reason for I think upgrading. Opening 1 no trump is very valuable because it blocks the opponents. Upgrading to a 1 diamond, then jump to no trump with 17 should be really rare and very typically with a 5 card suit. And we are playing from what is probably the right side. 17 and 7. Once again, we went too low. 8 of diamonds. This can be queen 9-8. There's no good reason for us to not try the jack, but it wasn't really likely. But it looks like if this guy's leading from shortest in diamonds, he should be strong in some other suit. We don't know which yet. Let's start by drawing trumps. Probably a club switch. Oh no, spades are good. This is one suit that I wanted to open up by myself. And here comes the spade switch. Now we could hope that the heart king is on side. That's the right way to play this in match points. Let's hope that the heart king is on side. Repeat the finesse. Because sometimes they will not cash the clubs. Well, they did. Now we have a tiny problem with getting to dummy. But as long as this West guy here didn't open, lead the 8 from 9-8 fifth, yeah, we are safe. Now we can claim. Spades were 3-3 and King Jack of Hearts were a doubled. But we got 75%. And the last deal, 19 high card points. This is nothing to change here. And 2 no trumps. is the right bid. We don't worry about stopperless, and Queen Jack is almost a stopper. But we don't worry about stopperless suits if the opponents are not beating them, by the way. 4 hearts, 3 clubs, 7 and 2 aces, 9. Looks quite safe, and we have to get more tricks. I'd like to induce them to help us somehow. And I think the best way is to lead a low spade. Maybe they will do something silly in spades or diamonds. Okay. Now we have another spade trick. And what this means that if we finesse in diamonds here and playing regardless of the result, now we have this card for dummies diamond and dummies high. 93%. Good to give them rope, but not enough to win. It's a 60% tournament. It's good enough, but we were too timid in 2 decisions. This 21 and this each other. This 46 here. They're both due to perhaps excessive match point tightness, in the sense that I wasn't too eager for the game bonus as I should have been. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next Monday at about the same time. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, bye-bye.